What's up, JBU? Welcome to Eagle Break News, your on-campus guide for what's happening around your dorms. I'm your guest host, Caleb Takenaka.
And I'm Joshua Writings.
Well, as you can see, Zoe Moody unfortunately is out this week, but don't worry, viewers, she will be back.
I'd say this is just another learning opportunity for all of us.
I agree with you, Josh, and thank you for saying that. By the way, what happened last week?
Last week was full. There was a movie premiere in the Bynum Theater, King of Kings and Exodus, both directed by JBU's own Colin Sanders, and a theater production.
By theater production, I believe you mean the musical She Loves Me. The musical for the fall semester just happened, and I went to that. And I'm not gonna lie, that show was pretty epic. Did you go by chance?
No, but I wish I had. It seemed like a great production.
That's okay. You always have next semester. But it was a sight to behold. This semester's performances have really shown the caliber of production that JBU students and faculty can produce. And we have 2 more performances to look forward to in the spring semester.
Last week was also World Awareness Week, a time for the campus to come together and celebrate the many different people that make up the staff and students here at JBU.
In esports news, the community finally got together on November 5th to watch the League of Legends 2022 World Series finale. It was an epic and fun-packed night. For more esports news, visit the esports Discord page.
Hey Caleb, are you excited for the 18th?
What do you mean? I still have school on the 18th.
Well, sure, but once class is out, we get a week off. Thanksgiving break this year is from November 18th to the 27th. I'm excited to spend that time with food and family.
I'm just excited not to do homework during that week.
I understand the feeling, Caleb. I will, undoubtedly, be doing some homework as well, being that after the break, we have just 2 weeks until finals.
Please don't remind me that I'm not as stable as is.
Well, while Caleb and I look forward to time off, let's take it over to Orry Phillips with sports.
Thanks, Josh and Caleb. It's another big week across the Sooner Athletic Conference for the John Brown Golden Eagles as postseason play continues in soccer, postseason play kicks off for volleyball, and the basketball season enters its second full week. Let's break it all down right here. The men's basketball team continues their road trip with a stop in Little Rock for a date with Philander Smith on Wednesday, November 9th. This will be the second time in less than a week that the Golden Eagles have faced Philander, who have won 2 of the last 3 matchups between the two in Little Rock. This one will tip off at 7:05 p.m. After that, JB will make a trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma for an exhibition contest against Oral Roberts on Friday, November 11th. Oral Roberts is an NCAA Division I school that plays in the Summit League. They're known by many for their deep NCAA tournament run in 2021 when they advanced to the Sweet 16 as a 15 seed after upsetting number 2 seed Ohio State in the first round and number 7 seed Florida in the second. While JBU enters this matchup as the heavy underdogs, this should still be a fun one that gives them some added experience against tough competition before the start of SAC play. It is also worth noting that as this is an exhibition game for John Brown, it will not count against their overall win-loss record. That one tips off at 7:05 p.m. The JV women's basketball team will travel to Oklahoma City this week to participate in the Mid-America Christian Classic. First, they'll face Oklahoma Wesleyan on Friday, November 11th at 5 p.m. It will be the second time these 2 teams have faced off this season. Next, they'll do battle against Evangel on Saturday, November 12th. This should be a very exciting matchup as these 2 teams have had quite the history with each other. JB holds the all-time series lead with an 18-17 record against the Valor, but Evangel has taken their last 2 meetings. Last season's contest between them took 2 overtimes to decide, and since Evangel was able to sneak away with a close 88-86 win once the dust settled, expect the Golden Eagles to have revenge on their minds when this one tips off at 12 p.m. Now going to soccer, the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament continues during this week. On the women's side, the SAC semifinals take place on Monday, November 7th, with the finals going down on Thursday, November 10th. And on the men's side, the semis will happen on Tuesday, November 8th, while the tournament champion will be crowned on Friday, November 11th. A lot to look forward to there. Postseason play kicks off for the JV volleyball team this week. The Golden Eagles, they've been dominant all season long as they finished 3rd in the conference's regular season standings and claimed home court advantage for the quarterfinal matchup. That matchup will go down on Tuesday, November 8th. If the Golden Eagles win, they'll advance to the semifinals in Waxahachie, Texas. The semifinals will be played at Sagu's home floor inside the Schieffer Center on Friday, November 11th. The finals will take place the next day on Saturday, November 12th. There's a lot on the line for this team as the conference tournament starts. This is a team in search of a spot in the NAI tournament. They've come close to breaking into the national picture on many occasions with head volleyball coach Ken Carver leading the way. And to round out sports, I got a chance to speak with Coach Carver himself on how the teams perform this season, what it will take to make that big push into the NAI tournament, and more. Here's our conversation. Now speaking with JVU head volleyball coach Ken Carver. Coach, it's been a great season for your team. One of the top teams in the Sooner Athletic Conference have been all season long. Finished third in the regular season standings. So you have the 3 seed home court advantage in the quarterfinals. How does that feel in that locker room? What's the vibe? What's the mood like right now? Again, really good season, great results, and this team is really playing up to where their potential. I think a lot of people saw it, but this season we are finally seeing that realized.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the season as a whole, you start before school starts and then you work your way through most of the semester. So, there's a certain part of, just balancing a student athlete's life. They're a little tired, just with the grind of the season, the travel, the competition, and then just, maintaining their top of their studies. But they realize, and we've talked about it, like this is the part of the season that we play for, that we worked really hard for. And again, to have earned the 3rd seed, we're really pleased with that, especially when we were initially just projected to be a 5 in the preseason polls. So knowing we have the top 2 teams coming in for our final 2 and we're playing them at home, and home has been very, very kind to us this year, so we're excited about that. And then, like you mentioned earlier, being able to host the quarterfinal round, like you couldn't ask for a better setup. And so we really are working hard to make the most of those advantages that we worked hard to get.
And you were talking about your success at home this season. JVU, one of the top teams in the entire league in defending their house. Obviously, that's an important aspect of just being able to be competitive night in, night out. If you can't defend your own house, where else can you go? Ultimately, JVU's been able to do that. How have you been able to find that push and take it next level inside Bill George Arena this season?
Well, it's not just this season, but I think during the overall course of my career, we've been pretty successful at home. And so the girls, it's a measure of pride for them. They get to play obviously in front of their friends and more of their family. So it's just having that opportunity that they feel, they want to dial it up a notch. They want to play just that much better in front of their hometown friends and family with it. And yeah, I think there's also just, they know the teams that have gone on before them that have played well, and so wanting to just continue that tradition that makes it, any visiting team coming in, they know they got their work cut out for them to come away with a victory at our place.
And then you look at this team where it's at. A big reason why they've been as successful as they are, I think, is the experience on the roster, the leadership we're seeing. I want to highlight the contributions of the team's 2 graduating seniors. There are a few other seniors on the team, but they will be back for another season next year. But Ellie Lampton and Lauren Cloud, 2 graduating, playing their final matches, really, of their volleyball career here at John Brown University within these next couple weeks. Just highlight the contributions they've made. What type of impact have they had on the program? And, what's it just been like having them around the locker room?
Yeah, so it's just kind of neat to see beyond just their time at JBU. They had actually played several years of club volleyball together before they came here, so they already were familiar with each other and had already started to develop a relationship. But yeah, it's been neat to see just them continuing to grow and mature as young ladies, ultimately as players, and then as leaders on our team as well. Lauren has been a starter for us in the last 3 seasons for sure. Kind of was in and out her freshman year ultimately. She's been very effective. She's understood our offense and really helped, especially, in those couple years when we either been injured or young, like she helped, I think, really develop some of those young attackers by putting them in good positions to be successful. Ultimately, she's going to finish as one of the all-time greats, as it relates to career assists as well as career aces. She's contributed a lot on the court in that regards. But then just her leadership, she's a big encourager. Her faith is definitely something that stands out and has impacted our team as well. So that's been awesome. Ellie's big thing, Ellie is kind of the really quiet individual, at least on the outside looking in, but once she gets comfortable, man, look out. There's a whole nother personality there that is full of laughter, full of fun, but also is she's one that just goes out and works. And so I've really appreciated her consistency throughout the course of her career. Her freshman year, she just had to kind of, like a lot of freshmen, have to bide her time a little bit behind some of the seniors that we had, but then stepped up in our COVID-shortened season, had her best season to date. Last year was a little bit with the injuries, but then this year, again, kind of playing at some career best levels. from the attacking side of things. So I'm just happy for her that she's able to kind of finish out her career kind of on a high note as well.
And lastly, I want to ask the big question here about the conference tournament coming up, really just these last couple of weeks of volleyball. This is a team that they've done a great job establishing themselves as one of the conference's elite all year long. Fighting for a spot, though, in the NAI tournament. During your time here at JBU, you've been here almost a decade, come close on numerous occasions, haven't quite been able to hit it to that level. Looking to take this team to new heights this season, certainly has the potential to do it, but you have to, again, play some really great volleyball over the next week or two to ultimately break into the national tournament picture. What's it going to take for all of that to come together?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this end of last week, but also here this week, even in preparation for our C of O match that we just played here, 2 days ago, that, the things that make a team have a successful end is being able to, one, just be consistent to who they are, some of those goals, and not forget about them. Because again, season's long and everybody's tired at this time. Everybody's tired. It's not just one team, everybody's playing tired. And so being able to have that mindset that, okay, yeah, if that's the case, then that doesn't matter. So let's go out and compete. Let's work on being disciplined with what it is we're trying to do, both on our side of the net, as well as what we may be trying to do game plan wise against whoever our opponent may be. Again, I think it's enjoying the moment, not making any one moment bigger than what it needs to be. Like, these two matches are big. Yeah, they're the end of our season. They're two teams ahead of us. They're ranked teams, but they're also just who's next. And so, take one match at a time with that, play as well as we can. And again, work to just be consistent with the things that have made us successful this season, and just having that belief and have the energy to keep pushing and driving all the way through to the end, whatever that conclusion may be.
That is JBU head volleyball coach Ken Carver. Thanks for your time, Coach. A lot of big volleyball coming up over the next week or so. Best of luck on the rest of your season.
Thanks, Orry.
That will do it for sports. Best of luck to all of our teams and student athletes in action this week. Let's take it back to the news desk.
Thanks, Orry. That's all for this week. I'm Caleb Takenaka.
And I'm Joshua Writings. Stay golden, Eagles.
Nap time's over, let's get to work. Hunting turkey. The turkeys will hear ya.
I found this in your locker.
Up, down, up. You're getting there.